Hello, baseball fans, and welcome back to BBSN. This is Anthony, and tonight we have a game that this will be Game 9 of the 1969 Payoff Pitch Cubs replay, and this is a game I've been looking forward to for a day or so now, and really anxious to get to this due to the pitching matchup. And the Cubbies will go on the road to St. Louis for their first road trip of the season. And you can see in the cards there, tonight's pitching matchup is going to be an outstanding one with Fergie Jenkins. And Jenkins is off to a great start in this replay, has an ERA of 1 through 2 starts, 2-0, has struck out 23 hitters in 18 innings pitched. So he is in fuego and facing the big lefty Steve Carlton. So this should be definitely a very good pitching matchup. And the Cardinals also do have some talent in the lineup too, as we see the lineups for both teams here. And first for our visiting Cubbies, Don Kessinger will lead off, play shortstop. Glenn Beckert will be at second base and hit second. Billy Williams, left field, bats third. Ernie Banks will be the cleanup hitter at first base. Randy Hundley, the catcher, bats fifth. And Jim Hickman bats sixth. He'll be in right field. Don Young, the center fielder, will bat seventh. And Paul Popovich in at third base for Ron Santo, bats eighth. And of course, the pitcher Fergie Jenkins. And for the hometown Cardinals, Lou Brock leads off, and he'll be in left field. Kurt Flood bats second, and he'll be in center. Right fielder Veda Pinson bats third. First baseman Joe Torre will hit cleanup. And Tim McCarver, and that's just my Excel filling in the F there. Tim McCarver will bat fifth, and he's catching tonight, lefty's personal catcher. Mike Shannon will bat sixth and be at third base. Julian Javier will bat seventh and be at second. Dal Maxville, shortstop, bats eighth, and Steve Carlton, of course, batting ninth. So we're going to get right to the action here. Carlton is ready, and Kessinger is into the box. So with that, let's roll. Jenkins and Carlton, a big early season pitching matchup here, and actually neglected to go over a real life comparison. So there you have it. In the real life, the Cubs were 7-1 at this point, and in the replay, they're currently 6-2. And this game in real life was the kind of game I hope it turns out to be tonight, a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, won by Jenkins and the Cubbies 1-0. So with that, Kessinger is ready to go. And first pitch is in play, 82. That's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop. So Maxville takes care of his counterpart there, one down for the Cubbies. Glenn Beckert up to hit. And 8's going to be tough, and 98 will be a fly out to left field. So Lou Brock easily runs that down. 2 down for the Cubbies. Billy Williams up. Carlton pitches. And 9, that'll be in play, and 40 versus a lefty. And that's going to be a pop-up to second base. And circling under that is Javier. And Cubbies go down 1-2-3 to Steve Carlton in the top of the first. So Fergie Jenkins toes the rubber. And he looks to continue his exceptional start to this 1969 replay. He's given up virtually nothing to this point. And 5 will be patient, and Brock, he's going to draw the leadoff walk. And that is definitely not the person you want to put on base to start the game. And Brock, he will run on a roll of 6 or less, and he's going. So Lou, obviously one of the premier base stealers of all time, he is a B. Hundley has an arm of 2. So 2B is going to be in column 3. 43 to 99. He's safe. He goes and just gets it under the tag. Nice hook slide. And Brock has stolen second base. So the Cardinals threaten early. Brock on second. Flood up. Pitch from Fergie. And 5 is Patient, 64. And that's going to be a ground ball down to second base. That'll get Brock over to third as Beckert takes care of Flood. 1 down. First run of the game, 90 feet away. Jenkins could use a strikeout. He's got a bunch so far this season. And 9 is going to be tough. And Ask You Shall Receive, and You Shall Sit Down. Veda Pinson struck him out. So 2 down. And a big, big at bat for Fergie there. But will be all for naught if you can't get Joe Torre. And the pitch. 4 is going to be Ballpark, and 11, Busch Stadium against the righty. That's Wheelhouse, and Torre takes a big cut, and that one is gone. Pounds that down the left field line and into the bleachers, and the Cardinals race out to a 2-0 lead as Joe Torre tattoos a Ferguson Jenkins fastball. So Brock strolls home. And Joe, the big 2-run shot, gets the home fans in a happy mood early on here. Tim McCarver, the batter. And 6 is going to be tough. And that will be a fly out to Billy Williams in left. So that gets Fergie out of the inning, but he's already doubled his runs allowed in just 1 inning of work thanks to Joe Torre's 2-run shot. And Cardinals lead it after 1, 2-0. So we will not have a repeat of actual history in this one as the Cardinals have scored early here. And 7 is going to be tough, and Ernie Banks, he flails away helplessly at that fastball. He goes back to the bench, victim of a strikeout by Carlton. Randy Hundley, the batter. Carlton wheels, and here's a pitch. Tough, 70, and that's going to be a ground ball down to second base. So Hundley goes down 4-3. 2 quick outs again for Carlton. Jim Hickman, the batter. And the Cubbies right fielder trying to get something going here. 6 is Patient, and 80. It's going to be out of range, though, and that'll be a ground ball to shortstop. So Maxwell up with that. And again, the Cubbies go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Cards. And Fergie, not happy about that first inning there. Matching his total of runs given up in his 2 starts combined there in 1 inning. So the pitch is 4, and that's a ballpark again. This will be in play, however. And Shannon, 65, and that is going to be a ground ball to Beckert. And Beckert up with it cleanly over to Banks, 1 down. Julian Javier, the batter. And the Card's second baseman. 5 will be Patient, and Javier draws a walk. That is Fergie's second. And Javier will try and steal on a roll with 4 or less. And he's going to go 2. So Cardinals think they can run on Hundley. He's a C, and Hundley again with a 2. 2C is going to be in column 4, 60 to 99. And Hundley comes up and guns him down. Not this time. Lou Brock can do that. You cannot. So Hundley throws out Javier, and there are 2 down for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the second. Dal Maxwell, the batter. And 6 will be tough. 28, struck him out. Fergie bounces back with a whiff, and the Cardinals are done in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Cards as we head to the top of the third. Don Young will lead it off for the Cubbies. Carlton sets, delivers, and 7 is going to be a tough. 17, struck him out. So Young strikes out a lot, and Carlton makes short work of him with a slider. 1 down for Paul Popovich. And Carlton He's wild but on point. 4 will be patient. 18 and pop. He's going to draw the base on balls. So the Cubbies with their first base runner of the afternoon, and pop will try and steal on a roll of 2. He is slower than frozen lead. He's not going anywhere. And Fergie is a horrible bunter and not much better as a hitter. So here, to get the sacrifice, needs to be 34 to 84. He's going to give it a shot. Feels better odds of trying to hit against Carlton. And 66, and that gets it done. So he's going to go down to third base, third over to second. 5-3 on the sacrifice hit, and Popovich is at second base. Top of the order, Don Kessinger, the batter. And he'll look to cut the lead in half here, or better. 8's going to be tough, but 85, well out of range. Ground ball down to shortstop, and Maxwell up with that over to first base. And Cubbies go quietly again in the third inning. And been in a little bit of a rut. Started in their last game against the Pirates and continuing early here. Though to be fair, most teams would be in a rut against Steve Carlton, who will be the leadoff batter here for the Cardinals. Segues right into his plate appearance, and patient 39. And Carlton, he's going to get beans. So Fergie comes in tight. Nips him on the elbow, and we'll see if that prompts any retaliation later. As Carlton shakes it off, trots down to first base, and Lou Brock, who led off the game with a walk and later scored on Joe Torre's 2-run shot after stealing second. And 4 is going to be ballpark. 94 is in play. In play 30 against the righty, and Brock has singled. So we'll go to the fast action cards for advancement. And that is a line drive into left field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So lefty stops at second, and if there is good news to that, it means Lou Brock can't steal. So he'll stay put at first base as Kurt Flood digs in. Pitch from Jenkins is in play, and that's a 55, sorry. And that's going to be a fly ball to right field, 1 down, runners hold. Hickman puts that away, gets it back in quickly. Veda Pinson, the batter. And 10 in play, 19, and that's not going to be good. That's going to be a single. And 1 down, a soft blooper into short right field, and runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. So Veda Pinson comes through with the RBI single, and Carlton comes around to give the Cardinals their 3rd run. Lou Brock parks at third. Pinson will stay put, 1 down. Joe Torre, the batter. And Torre, 10 in play, 17, and things not going well at all for Jenkins. Another single. And this one is going to be a sharp liner, drops in front of the left fielder. Runner on first advances 1 base. And Brock will, of course, come in to score. So Torre has his 3rd RBI of the game. And the Cardinals now surprisingly up to a 4-0 lead against Jenkins and the Cubs. 1 down, runners on first and second for McCarver. And 12, wheelhouse, but 88 is going to be a ground ball down to second base. And that is going to move the runners up. Beckert's only play is to first on the roll of 12. So 4-3, and runners now on second and third with 2 outs for Mike Shannon. And Shannon can make this ugly early. Jenkins winds, delivers. 10 is in play, and 76, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. Don Young under that comfortably, and the Cubbies get out of the inning. But the Cardinals stick 2 more tallies on the board, and it's going to be tough to come back the way Steve Carlton is pitching thus far. 3 innings in the books. Cardinals up 4-0 over the Cubs. And Glenn Beckert leading it off. The lefty gets a sign, and 12 is going to be patient, 22. And Beckert, that's going to be a sharp single right back up the middle. So second base runner, but first base hit of the day for the Cubbies. And Beckert will try and steal on a roll of 3. Not happening. Billy Williams now steps in, lefty against lefty. And 5 is tough, 29, and that's Williams cranks that one down the right field line. That's going to rattle around in the corner, a double. And runners advance 2 bases, so Beckert's going to be held at third. Nobody out, and the Cubbies are in business with runners at second and third. And Ernie Banks, the batter. And Williams, he just roped that shot from Carlton. Caught a hanging slider, and he stands on second base. The pitch is tough, 32. And Ernie struck him out. So 1 down for Randy Hundley. That's the second time Banks has gone down flailing away at the Carlton slider today. And 7, tough again, and 46. And Hundley's going to fight that one off. And that's going to be blooped into right field. The runner on first advances 1 base. Runner on second advances 1 base. So that'll have Bex coming in to score on the RBI single by Hundley. And runners at the corners now. And the Cubbies are on the board. It is 4-1. So the pitching duel that occurred in real life is not materializing here as the Cubbies look to cut into this lead some more. Jim Hickman, the batter. And 9 is going to be in play, but 49 will be out of range. That's a fly out to right field. And on the in-play roll, all runners will hold, so not deep enough to get Williams home. 2 down now for Don Young, and the Cubby center fielder digs in, cocks the bat, the pitch, and that's going to be patient, 21. And Young waits out Williams, Carlton draws a walk, and the bases are loaded now. And Paul Popovich up, 2 down, sacks jam. Got to make it happen here because pitcher spots up next. And 8's going to be tough. And 68, no sir, that's a weak fly ball to center field, and Kurt Flood is going to put that away easily. So the Cubs threaten, but leave the bases juiced, can only get 1 run across. And we're heading to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Cardinals up 4-1, and Julian Javier, the batter. Jenkins looking to settle down here. 8 is going to be tough, 40. And struck him out. So Jenkins starts off the 4th pitching with anger. 1 down. Dal Maxville, the batter. Ferguson, and that's going to be ballpark. 60 will be in play. So it needs to be 22 or less. And 16 is going to be a single for Maxville. So he's on board, and Steve Carlton, the batter. 1 down. Carlton is a decent hitting pitcher. They're going to let him swing away. Bunt sign is not on. And 9, tough, 65, should have been. Ring him up, Johnny. Jenkins with his 2nd strikeout of the inning, 2 down. And Lou Brock, who has drawn a walk and singled, scored twice. 12, Wheelhouse, 72, and that'll be out of range. Ground ball down to shortstop, and Kessinger's got to hurry up, whips it over to first, and Banks has it in time to retire the side. So we're through 4, and the Cardinals hold a 4-1 lead still. as Steve Carlton comes out, and Fergie will be the first batter in the 5th. Too early to think about pulling him yet, hoping the Cubs bats can come back to life. 5 is going to be tough, and 66 is going to be a strikeout. He just looked foolish there. So they're trying to hit a BB with a straw with Carlton on the mound and a pitcher hitting. So Don Kessinger, top of the order here. 8, tough, 45, and that's going to be just out of, oh, no, that's in range. Kessinger fights that off, hitting from the right side. He's going to poke that into right field. So 1 out single for Kessinger. And Kessinger will try and steal on a roll of 4 or less. Not happening. He stays put. Glenn Beckert up. Kessinger gets his lead, and the pitch from Carlton is tough, 23. And Beckert gets a hold of a slider, drives that solidly into the outfield. That is a line drive to center field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So station to station we go, and that's Beckert's second hit of the day. 1 down, and the Cubbies have something brewing again. Sweet swinging Billy Williams up. He doubled his last time up. 1 for 2 on the day. And 6 is going to be patient. And 18, he draws the base on balls. So Carlton getting just a little bit shaky here in the top of the 5th inning. Ernie banks up with the bases loaded. 1 down. And Mr. Cubby, what can you do? That's ballpark, and 91 is going to be in play, though. And then a great chance for Wheelhouse, and 90. And Ernie, ground ball down to shortstop, 7. That's outside the double play range of Banks, inside of Carlton. And just in case you have not seen it in previous games, I've tweaked the double play rules a little bit here when it's in between the batter and pitcher's rating rather than being a fielder's choice, which I felt there were a little bit too many. We go off the runner advancement chart, so 1 to 45 will be a double play. Anything above 45 will be a fielder's choice. And 53, they cannot turn it. So Kessinger comes home to score. Beckert over to third, and Williams is out at second base. And Banks on with a fielder's choice. 1 RBI, and it's 4-2 now, Cardinals. Cubbies have cut the lead in half. Randy Hundley, 2 outs. First and third, the pitch. Patient, 96, and that is going to be well out of range. A harmless fly ball to left field. Lou Brock camps under that, makes the basket catch, strolls in, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Our score, Cardinals 4 and Cubbies 2. So Cubbies clawing their way in bit by bit, and Jenkins, he needs to stay on point here as Curt Flood set to lead it off. Curt Flood, the man generally, well, not generally, he is credited with creating modern free agency, for better or worse. Definitely a game changer, and the days of ball players working off-season jobs in auto parts stores or doing menial labor tasks, things of that nature, pretty much went out the window within the years following Flood and the advent of free agency. So Jenkins, 6 and 24. So for that game-changing moment, Jenkins thanks him with a K. Sits him down. And 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Cards here. Veda Pinson up. Pinson today is struck out. Single, has an RBI. 10 is in play. 53 out of range. That's going to be a ground ball down to third base. Popovich up with that. And 2 quick outs for the Cardinals, and pitchers. Fortunes are seemingly reversed the last couple of innings. Jenkins has settled down, and Carlton has been faltering a little bit. 4 is going to be ballpark, but that's going to be Wheelhouse, and Joe Torre again. Can he do it back-to-back Jack? Big cut, and this ball is gone. Joe Torre, HR Puffin Stuff, second of the day, a solo shot this time, and that extends the Cardinals' lead back to 3. And Torre has 4 of their 5 RBIs now, 5-2. And that's going to get the bullpen active for the Cubbies, and we're going to have a lefty and a righty up. Don Notabart will be the right-hander, and Billy McCool, the lefty, as Jenkins just does not have his best stuff today. He's been lights out his first 2 starts, and in tonight's game, lights have stayed on, sun's coming in from all the open windows, and the Cardinals are raking him. 6 is going to be tough, and 35, and just out of range to McCarver there, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Popovich at third. So the 5th is over, but the Cardinals get another run on Joe Torre's second moon shot of the day. Lead at 5-2 as we head to the top of the 6th. Jim Hickman, Cubbies right fielder, will lead it off against Carlton. And a pitch, 7, tough, 71, out of range. That'll be a fly ball to center field. Kurt Flood gloves that, 1 down. So all the hype for this matchup and the pitching duel we had hoped for has not materialized. Cardinals in control. And 11 is going to be a defensive check, our first of the game. Get the defensive check from the fact cards. And that is going to be an error on shortstop, but 97 on the roll. It doesn't really matter how terrible or good the shortstop is. That's going to be an out. So Young, a nice play short by Maxville over to first base, 2 down. And Paul Popovich up. If he gets on base, we will see a pinch hitter for Fergie, and that's Wheelhouse, and that's 9. And he's not going to get on base. He's going to go to every base and come home. A solo shot by Popovich. Sits on another hanging slider from Carlton and just yanks that into the right field bleachers. His first of the year, and the lead is now 5-3. And Jenkins' day is going to be done after 5 innings. So we're going to see who we want to pinch hit here. McCool is going to be the pitcher when the Cardinals come up to bat in the bottom of the inning. So our right-handers, Adolfo Phillips, yeah, quite honestly, nobody hits lefties extremely well. So Adolfo Phillips has yet to see some action. Let's get this young man some PT, and he's going to be the pinch hitter here for Fergie. And Phillips in 1969 against lefties hit a paltry .235. But again, the Cubbies really don't have anyone not already in the game who hits lefties extremely well. So we will see what he can do. Carlton is set, delivers. Phillips' first at-bat of the season, and 7's going to be tough, 55. And he's going to look foolish there. In on the hands, eats him up, spits him out, and puts him back in the dugout. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The 6th inning is over. And the Cardinals see another run shaved off their lead. However, we head to the bottom of the inning. Our score, Cardinals 5, Cubbies 3. The new pitcher for the Cubs to face Mike Shannon is Billy McCool. McCool appeared in 54 games. This is his first game of the replay. And had an ERA of 4.30, record of 3-5, 7 saves. Mike Shannon, the batter. McCool delivers. And 8 will be patient. 92 is going to be a ground ball down to Kessinger at short. Comes up with it, puts him away easily, 1 down for Julian Javier. And Javier tonight has walked, been caught stealing, and struck out his last time up. 4 is going to be patient, 74. And that is going to be a fly out to Don Young in center, 2 outs. So McCool, easy come, easy go. Dal Maxwell, the batter, and 6 is in play. 78 is going to be a ground ball down to Kessinger. So we're through 6, and the Cardinals lead this one 5-3. Top of the order coming up to face Carlton. And what he does in this inning will determine if he's going to stick around. Kessinger patient and 0-9. That is going to be a walk. So lefty, he's a little bit of occasional bouts of wildness in this game. Kessinger on at first. He will try and steal on a roll of 4. And he stays put for Glenn Beckert. Beckert the batter. And the pitch is going to be patient, 69. That's going to be out of range, and that will be a fly out to center field. Flood puts that away, 1 down. Sweet swinging Billy Williams. He's doubled, walked, and flown out to second base. Pitch from Carlton. And 7 is tough. It's going to be a ground ball down to second base. And 7, and again we have a split on the 2-6 roll. So we will roll for the double play, and that is a 30, and that is going to be a double play. So Williams cannot further the cause as Carlton induces the grounder, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time at the old ball game. And Cardinals clinging to a 5-3 lead. Carlton's fatigue, he can go into the 9th, giving up more than 2 runs before he needs to be replaced, so he will not be getting lifted. He's going to hit here in the 7th. And 8 is going to be patient, 19. And against the southpaw, and Carlton, wraps that one into the gap in right center field, and he's going to cruise around and be on second base with a double. So that's his second time on the sacks today. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Top of the order, Lou Brock. And Don Notabard is back up in the Cubbies bullpen throwing. 6 is in play, and 40. And lefty on lefty crime, and that is going to be a ground ball down to first. Carlton's going to saunter over to third base as Banks takes that unassisted, 1 down. And they would love to get that insurance run in. It would sure help. Kurt Flood, the batter. 4, patient, 39. And Flood draws the walk. So runners at the corners now. And this has not been a exhibition of slick pitching today. McCool facing his fellow lefty Pinson. And 8 is going to be patient and 50. And Pinson, he's going to drive that a single. And that's going to really break this open. That's a line drive into left field. The runner on first advances 2. And of course, Carlton comes home to score. So runners at the corners now, and it's 6-3 Cardinals. As Carlton helps his own cause, stops on the dish, heads back to the dugout, high-fives his teammates. Joe Torre has been bad medicine for the Cubbies today. He is 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Runners at the corners, 1 down. McCool to pitch. And 11 is going to be a defensive check, and what this is could an error on the first baseman, and Williams, he is a 1 and still able to dodge the bullet there, as that is going to be an out. And 11 is not going to get the double play though, so that will be a 3 unassisted. Flood comes in to score, Pints into second base, and Torrey, on the fielder's choice, picks up his 5th RBI of the day. He has 5 of the 7 Cardinals runs driven in, and pretty sure this will be a easy vote for POG. 8 is going to be Patient to McCarver, and that will be a ground ball down to second base. Beckered up with that, and the inning is over. But the Cubbies, every time they scratch back and get close, the Cardinals tease them, pull the carrot out a little bit further from the nose. And we head to the top of the 8th inning. Our score now is Cardinals 7 and Cubs 3. And Carlton back on the mound. And he will face Ernie Banks to lead off the 8th inning for the visitors. Carlton hasn't been his sharpest, but he's done just enough, and he has a 4-run lead here. 11 is going to be a defensive check, 52. And that'll be an error check on the shortstop. And Dal Maxwell is a 3. So he's going to make that play, juggles it a little bit, but recovers, gets it over to first base to Nick Banks. And 1 down here in the top of the 8th inning. Randy Hundley, the batter. Hundley today is 1 for 3. He's singled in an RBI back in the 4th. Carlton the pitch, and tough 50. And Hundley is going to drive that right back through the box, and he has his 2nd hit of the day. And trailing by 4, he is not going to try and steal. Jim Hickman digs in. Carlton the pitch, and 7 tough. And we have a rare play, folks. So we whip out the rare play chart, and we have 1 runner on base, so that will be in the 2nd column here. And again, this is the rare play chart for a baseball project I am working on. And 55. So 55 here in the 2nd column. And possible injury to batter, check injury rating against the next action number, i.e. die roll. So we don't need any more injuries. Hickman has an injury rating of normal. Santos already out to game 80. So on normal, we need 0 to 30, or at best 50 or less. That just gets him out for the remainder of the game. And 46. So somewhat dodge a bullet there. And so Hickman hurts himself swinging at that pitch. He's clutching his ribs, and he's going to have to be removed. And coming into play right field will be Al Spangler. And not a very favorable matchup here, lefty against lefty. But that is all we have. So Hickman just seems to be a strain. He should be good to go. Now Spangler will take his spot in right field. And Spangler did not have very many at-bats against left-handers, but he did hit .429 in seven at-bats. So very limited. And McCarver's out to talk to Carlton. as Spangler loosens up and gets ready to hit here. And 7, get my last ratings in here. 3F. All right, so runner on first base, 1 down. Spangler set. He inherits the count that Hickman left him. And 9, that's going to be in play, 47, and that's going to be a single. So Spangler comes through big time, and that's going to be a line drive into center field. The runner on first only advances 1, however. So station to station we go. And Don Young will be the batter. And in the Cardinals bullpen, another lefty is up. Joe Horner's loosening up down there. In anticipation of relieving Carlton. 2 runners on here, first and second, 1 down for Don Young. That is a 1, and 5 is tough. Not the roll he wanted there, and Young flails away helplessly as Carlton deals with him with ease. A 3-pitch strikeout, 2 down, runners on first and second. Paul Popovich up. Pitcher spot due up next. And 4 will be patient, 12, and Pop draws a walk. That's his second walk of the day. He also has a home run. So that's going to load the sacks and bring up the pitcher spot. So we know Nada Bart will be the pitcher for the Cubbies in the bottom of the inning. And Horner's not ready to go, so he'll have to remain in the game, and Carlton will have to remain in the game. And unfortunately here, not very many options. So Jim Qualls is going to be the pinch hitter now. And he had a real limited number of at-bats against lefties, but did hit .333 against them in 1969. So he steps in, the switch hitter. Carlton is set to deliver the pitch. Nowhere to put him. And 3 is going to be a ballpark. 62 is in play. And 60 just out of range, and that's going to be a harmless fly ball to right field. And Carlton manages to extract himself from that precarious situation. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Cardinals still holding a comfortable 7-3 lead. The new pitcher for the Cubbies is Don Nada Bart. And it looks like Joe Horner is going to be the pitcher in the 9th for the Cardinals. So the book is going to be closed on lefty Carlton. He goes 8 innings. Gives up 3 runs, all earned. Again, not pretty, but he has the lead, and that's what the game's all about. Shannon digs in. The pitch from Nada Bart is 8. That's in play. 76. That's going to be a fly out to center field. Don Young has that one. 1 down. Julian Javier, the batter. And the pitch is patient, 83. That'll be a ground ball down to shortstop. Kessinger has that. 2 up, 2 down. Gal Maxwell, shortstop up. 7 going to be in play. 28, the righty, and that's just out of range. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Flips it over to Banks. And Nada Bart with a 3 up, 3 down inning. And we head to the top of the 9th, and this will be the last chance for the Cubbies. New pitcher on the mound for the Cardinals is Joe Horner. And not a save situation, but bringing in their closer to get him some work and to make sure he nails us down. 6 is tough, and 62 against the lefty. That's going to be a ground ball down to second base. Javier up with that. And 4-3, one down. Glenn Beckert up, and Bex tonight has single twice, scored a run. He was 2 for 4. And that'll be in play 48. And that'll be a fly ball to right field. So 2 down, the stands are on their feet. Last chance for the Cubbies. They need a miracle. Billy Williams up, lefty on lefty. 4 is in play, 84, not going to get it done. A ground ball down to second base. Up with it is Javier, over to first base. Torrey puts it away, pumps his fist, and the game is over. So the Cubbies lose their second in a row. And the great pitching matchup that we had envisioned, a game that was so anticipated, did not materialize. Cardinals go on to get up early, 4-0, and coast home a 7-3 win. Every time the Cubbies got close, the Cardinals would just stretch it a little bit further, the next opportunity they had. And Cubbies were within 2, 5-3 in the bottom of the 7th. And a couple of runs came across there, and that put it out of reach. So, player of the game, really a no-brainer in this one, unanimously. That will be the Cardinals' first baseman, Joe Torre. I can't hate him too much since he's a future Yankee skipper, but Torre, he went 3 for 4 today. 2 home runs, 2 runs scored, and he drove in 5 of the Cardinals' 7 runs. So, Joe Torre, this bud is for you. You are the player of the game. And that's going to be it for tonight from Busch Stadium. We will be back with Game 2 of this series. And until next time, stay young, keep playing games, and have a good night.